Just recently, James Gunn had a little bit more to offer up on what is going on with Sergeant Rock, who of course appeared for the first time in the DCU in Creature Commandos. And if we just read between the lines, it definitely looks like we are getting that Sergeant Rock film that's been rumored, and we even know who's, well, been associated with the development of it. So if you missed it, the third episode of Creature Commandos features Sergeant Rock working with G.I. Robot in flashbacks that take us all the way back to, well, the Great Wars. And it's pretty awesome because in the last month, really, we've gotten a ton of news in regards to the upcoming Sergeant Rock film. If you're not familiar with who he is, let's get into that. So Sergeant Rock, as some of you may know, is a character that dates all the way back to the late 1950s, first appearing in Our Army of War issue number 83 in June of 1959, with of course the publication behind the character being Dccomics, and the character's full name being Franklin John Rock. Now, in an effort to try to be a little bit more competitive with the likes of Marvel Comics, a lot of people see the character of Sergeant Rock as DC's answer to Captain America. And while there are some similarities, it's not really comparable at all, I would say. Now, of course, the character's history does go all the way back to World War II, where the character was simply just called The Rock. He was a member of the infantry U.S. Army in the European theater of war, and subsequent issues and miniseries and retcons would add in a little bit more context about the character and, of course, his importance to the war and how he enlisted after the events of Pearl Harbor. The most recent take that really reinvented the character comes in 2009, which was a 6-issue miniseries called Sergeant Rock, The Last Battalion, Rock's Unit. Here, they would further flesh out the character's history, connection to the DC universe, and of course, his integration into the bigger DC universe as more of a mainstay, if you will. Now, contrary to what some people believe, he does not actually have any super abilities or anything like that. He is just an expert marksman and good at hand-to-hand combat. Although they have toyed with the idea that he's almost superhero and super strength levels that could compare him to the likes of Metahuman, he's still relatively just a normal human, although he does have a couple of gadgets that do help him out. Over the decades, the character has also appeared in other interpretations of the DC universe, along with the famous Justice League cartoon where he actually had a little arc in there. And at one point, there was even deep discussions, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was in talks, or according to some, attached to star as Sergeant Rock in a film based on the character. This ultimately did not end up happening, obviously, as we do not have a film based on Sergeant Rock, but ever since then, every few years, a new person shows up on Hollywood's radar, pitching or attached to a Sergeant Rock project that never gets off the ground. So maybe, sometime soon, we will see him in all his live-action glory, fully realized and delivering what fans of the character have resonated with for decades. And of course now, with his debut in Creature Commandos, it's looking like it's adding a lot more to the whole idea of Sergeant Rock actually becoming a full-on project. And since we already know that there's people connected to the project, yeah. So James Gunn was recently talking about this, and he said that that's the interesting thing about the DCU, is that they can do this and establish histories, relationship, and things that will pay off backwards and forward, meaning in the future and in the past. This might just be a direct hint at the Sergeant Rock film. He revealed that seeing these characters along with Sergeant Rock's team was truly something special, and that he hopes that the fans enjoyed it because there's more coming, and that the idea here is to really tease the future of all these characters, which I think is exactly what you expect, you know? There will be a Sergeant Rock film as long as nothing falls apart. And it's, I think at this point, guaranteed that it's gonna be a period piece film and that we're in for something completely different and unexpected from DC. Well, everybody, thank you for watching that video. And as always, you can like, subscribe, share, do whatever you will. check out the recommended video that's popped up somewhere on the screen. And also, if you would like additional content, including more discussions and more unfiltered content, check out what we offer to the members section, which has new videos going up all the time.